Hello, I'm MBX welcome back to the video. Today I want to talk about something I see literally dozens of comments about every single week on my channel, and it is to do with the future of Minecraft Xbox 360 and Minecraft PS3. Yes, that title is deliberate, because I wanted to talk about the last gen consoles and when they're going to be discontinued. A lot of people are really scared, a lot of people spread rumors that, oh yeah, this next update is going to be the last one, but I wanted to kind of just, apply some critical thought and let you know when I think that this is going to happen, because I realistically do think that a lot of people kind of over-exaggerate the fear, because we have seen some, moves in that direction, but it's not necessarily, the whole story, and I figured why not explain the whole story with today's videos. Hopefully you all do enjoy it, like it if you do, because it helps out the channel a lot, and lets know you do like these sorts of videos, again, about the future of Minecraft console, because I know a lot of people still do have 360s and PS3s, still don't intend to ever, or, in the near future upgrade to the Xbox One and PS4, and I figured why not talk about what the future is for people like you out there, because, even though personally, I probably play enough games to justify upgrading, and that's why I did it a little bit afterwards, plus obviously the YouTube thing, but for some people, it just doesn't make sense yet, and therefore you might be curious as to how long you can keep using your 360 or PS3, which bear in mind before we say anything else, they're both 10-year-old consoles now. In fact, I think they're like 11 or 12-year-olds. They're very, very old piece of hardware, and the fact that the game is running on them at all now is actually very impressive in of itself. But yeah, let's talk about the full story, because the first step in this decision was actually releasing for Minecraft Xbox 360 and Minecraft PS3 in the first place. Bear in mind that when the 360 edition of Minecraft came out, the one was only, 2 or 3 years down the line, and when the PS3 version of Minecraft came out, the PS4 was already out. That's right, they made the last gen version of Minecraft when the PS4 had already come out, which when you look at that objectively, you can say, yeah, they clearly didn't intend to just make these consoles as a launching pad for the PS4 and Xbox One. They're going to try and support them for as long as they humanly can, as long as those life cycles do exist, and just bear in mind that, yeah, they made these versions keeping in mind that they were outdated, even at the time that, one of them was launched, and the PS Vita was, again, not outdated, but still kind of old at that time. The Wii U was just about to be replaced by the Switch. They made all of these versions with that in mind. So keep in mind, that was the first step. They made these versions like that, and then since then, we've seen very little in the way of them actually, discontinuing those platforms. We've seen words that, oh yeah, at some point they will have to skip over. We've seen, like the vaguest hints from people in Mojang, but we haven't seen anything beyond two big steps. So the first one of these big steps was probably 2 years ago when bigger worlds came to the Xbox One and PS4 versions. So yeah, the Xbox One and PS4 both got their, I guess you can call them superior versions of Minecraft console, because they have certain upgrades like to the render distance, the resolution, and the world size. But the world size is the only major feature which was missing, from the last gen consoles, that was available on the next gen, that wasn't to do with like the power of the consoles, to do with the storage space and the RAM, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, that's like the first major feature that came to next gen without coming to previous gen. And even though they kind of like hinted that, yeah, there'll be more things like this coming, keep in mind that there were very, very few actual stuff like things like that happened. So, for instance, bigger multiplayer never actually came, sorts of different battle maps. Everything that they've done since then, they've made a parallel between the two consoles, besides, again, another couple of steps, which the next one was about a year afterwards. So again, 2 years ago, we had the bigger worlds thing. Then a year later, we had the, higher mob cap on next gen, but even then, it's very, very slight. It's not like, oh, it's literally 10 times higher. It's like maybe 20% higher, and even then, it could just be due to my testing being flawed. But that's the, as far as I can tell, as far as we can do with hand testing, it does look like, the mob cap has been raised very slightly on the next gen because of the high power. And then also, I guess it's current gen now. But yeah, then as well as that, we have one more thing that happened, which was just with the last update to U46, where they added amplified worlds exclusively to current gen platforms. So you might look at all of that and say, oh yeah, this trend is getting really dangerous. More and more features are going to current gen. But the way I see this sort of stuff, as someone who, does currently have an Xbox One and PS4 and prefers to play on those platforms, is the sort of thing where they really are trying as hard as they can to make sure every feature humanly possible does go to the last gen console. So again, bear in mind the three features we have so far are just very slightly higher mob cap, which obviously again is the technical side of things. Also on the technical side of things is the bigger worlds, again the RAM, the storage space, and also the bigger ends, which came with the most recent update. And then there's amplified, which is the one thing you can kind of argue is borderline, but still they're just major, technical features, as opposed to them just being like, oh yeah, last gen we're just not giving the shulker to. All of the content which can be transferred across all of the platforms has been done so in that way. And I think when you look at this kind of progression where like, oh yeah, literally over like 4 years or something like that, they've made 3 features be exclusive to the different consoles. I think when you look at it from that perspective, it's not a matter of like months or a matter of like just a year or two. I think we've got like several years left in these last gen consoles before they're fully discontinued. I think what might start to happen is more features on the PC version of Minecraft that get ported to the console might become more technically demanding. So think about structure blocks and command blocks and customized worlds. A lot of those features they haven't even considered because they can't be going that way. But I think they might start considering that, oh yeah, well if we can't do a feature on all consoles, we might as well try it on the current gen ones. But you might look at that and say, oh well, that's awful. Why are they doing it that way? But think of it this way: any major feature that you're thinking of, like, are you thinking, oh, I really want to have llamas in my Minecraft Xbox 360 world, or let's say they come out with turtles in the next update, I want to have those turtles in there. Any major sorts of features like this, this or new blocks, the major content stuff, I think you're going to have years left of that on the 360 and the PS3 before you run into any issues. I think we're going to see more and more features become more technical and go to the Xbox One and PS4 first, and but I think it's going to be a really long time until it shifts from the 360, PS3 kind of development phases to moving exclusive to the next gen / current gen one, the Xbox One, the PS4, and sort of the Switch. We still don't know too much about that, but yeah, why do I think it's going to be so long? You might be like, well, soy cat, those are current consoles. The 360 itself, I think, is being discontinued soon. I think the PS3 was discontinued. The consoles themselves by the developers are being kind of less supported. So why aren't the versions of Minecraft going to be that way? So even though most of you that watch my channel, now have switched over to the Xbox One and PS4, I know it's like a 50-50 split, which is pretty good. It's actually going slightly towards the Xbox One and PS4. You've got to bear in mind the overall sales, the number of people that do play in general on Minecraft is just massively in favor of the 360 and the PS3. Like where there might be like 1 million or something like that sales of Minecraft Xbox One. We don't have official numbers because there's no pro leaderboard. Whereas there's roughly 1 million sales of Minecraft PS4, somewhere in those ballparks. You've got to compare that to 20 million copies of Minecraft Xbox 360. That was a recent milestone they hit. Just the Xbox 360 edition alone, which means that the proportion of last gen players to current gen players, even if you assume that like 50% of people or like 80% of people who bought these last systems either upgraded or just stopped playing Minecraft, that still means they're massively outweighed by these last gen people, which means that for the longest foreseeable future, we're going to see Minecraft Xbox 360 and Minecraft PS3 still receive updates. And although there's a whole bunch of decisions you can think about that, like, oh, is that a good thing to waste so much time on optimizing and stuff? I don't know personally. I guess I might have my own opinions, but as far as the facts go on, like what you actually what this actually means, if you have one of those consoles and you're scared you'll have to upgrade, you won't have to. I would totally recommend doing it. Again, I've said this before, but those consoles are getting cheaper by the day. There's so many more reasons to have them than just playing Minecraft. All the other games that are coming out. There's the TV features. There's all these things that you might want from from the new consoles. But if you don't want to upgrade, if you just want to keep your 360 because they're incredibly cheap to buy, like you could just buy 5 if you wanted to. If you want to keep your old gen console, then I guess at least for Minecraft reasons, you're gonna have quite some time to do that. So I hope you did all enjoy today's video. Like it if you did like it because it helps out the channel a lot. Let us know you do like this sort of thing. Share if you really liked it, and subscribe if you're new around here because I make videos like this one every single day on my channel, and if subscribed, you'll see them daily on your homepage. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.